I'm Joel Sendek, Managing Director and Biotech Analyst at Lazard Capital Markets, and we are here today with Targanta Pharmaceuticals with Mark Leuchtenberger, who's the CEO, and you're watching BioBusiness TV. So, Mark, can you tell me a little bit about the origination of Targanta? It has one major product, Oritavancin. Where did you get the drug? What does it do? And what were the reasons why you joined the company?
Sure. Targanta has been in business since 1997. It was established as a company called Phage Tech, targeted towards development of antibiotics that were using phage technology. But that wasn't as successful as the investors in the company hoped it would be. And so in 2005, they acquired a drug called Oritavancin from InterMune. This drug had been developed by Lilly and then later on developed it by InterMune through the phase 3. So here you have a very interesting product, a product that's completed 2 positive phase 3 trials and yet it seemingly was up in the air with respect to the development. I think the secret for Targanta was that we were have been able to unlock the potential of the drug. There were a couple of issues that surrounded the development that we recruited Lilly people who'd worked on Oritavancin, to solve. So the Targanta that you see today has got offices in Cambridge, Montreal, and Indianapolis. Indianapolis, where there are a large body of our folks, 50 out of our 100 people, working to push Oritavancin forward. And it was in those hands of those experts that knew Oritavancin that we were able to resolve those issues and move on. So right now you find us, we've got an NDA that we filed with FDA, and that we expect the PDUFA date, the approval decision date, to be December 8th. We've also filed in Europe with an MAA, and then just recently announced results of a trial that we think has a very exciting prospects for Oritavancin going forward. I joined about 2 years ago. I'd spent a long part of my career at Biogen building up the Avonex franchise, running commercial operations in North America and then Europe. Then spent some time as CEO as a company called Therion, and now excited to be bringing this company forward towards commercialization.
Okay, so you touched on a lot of things there, and I want to go back on a few of them. So Oritavancin is a drug that some other companies originated and were developing. You mentioned Lilly and InterMune. Can you talk
Correct.
a little bit about what precisely those companies did with the drug, how far along they took it, and what the data was when Targanta was able to acquire the drug?
Sure. Lilly, as you probably know, was one of the worldwide, if not the worldwide leader in development of infectious disease drugs. They originated the drug that's now the standard for gram-positive infections, staph and strep infections, and that's vancomycin. That drug's now generic, but it's still 75 or 80% of all treatments in the world. And Lilly, however, in the mid to late 90s, decided that their future lay elsewhere. So they moved from a focus on infectious disease to more cardiovascular and CNS drugs like Prozac, which they developed. So they actually de-accessioned, if you will, their whole infectious disease franchise. They held on to Oritavancin for a while, but in the end they signed a deal with a company called InterMune in California to take the drug forward. And at the time they signed it, they were in the middle of the second phase 3 trial. So InterMune moved that forward to the end of the phase 3, and then in 2003, with the capital markets presenting a very tough outlook at the time for biotech, the difficulty of raising more capital for a launch and a couple of technical issues that InterMune had, they decided to find a licensee themselves. And it wasn't until 2005 that Targanta was able to bring in Oritavancin. And so it has been in a couple of hands, but as I said, I think it's back in the right hands, if you will. It's the people who worked at Lilly on the drug, who know how to develop the drug and know its potential, that have gotten it back on track and slated for commercialization.
Okay, because a critic would say, okay, it's cast off from Lilly and then cast off from another biotech company. Maybe this is damaged goods, and you guys are just hoping that you might get blood from a stone here. I mean,
You're so positive. I can't imagine.
Well, I mean, you have to look at it both ways, right?
Sure, absolutely.
So can you explain to our viewers, why that's not the case, and why you really see tremendous value here with this drug right now?
Right. I think your definition of cast off is the question. When Lilly sold this to InterMune, they got a $50 million signing fee. So that's certainly not damaged goods or cast off. Right. That was at the height of the biotech market, if you will, in 2000. When InterMune had brought it forward, the phase 3 trial was very positive, but essentially they ran into a technical issue that they could not solve. And it had to do with how the drug should be administered. They at the time had to collapse their portfolio from 5 different product categories down to 2, and Oritavancin was just something they felt they could find another partner for. So they went looking for partners, wanted the same sort of economics, I understand, that Lilly had gotten from them.
Right.
But by the time they finally licensed it out, the deal we were able to do with InterMune was actually an equity deal. So InterMune, for example, owns 15% of Targanta right now, and they will participate in our upside as we bring it forward. You come back to the fundamental characteristics of the drug. 2 positive phase 3s, both that showed non-inferiority against vancomycin. With a very, very favorable side effect profile relative to vanco, several key characteristics such as emergence of treatment-emergent adverse events, other key side effect profile issues, statistically better for Oritavancin than vancomycin, which is the standard of care. So there's an ease of use, if you will. There's a potential safety advantage over the standard of care. There's also a short duration of therapy, which we're excited about as we bring it forward. Most of these drugs in the gram-positive space require 7 to 10 to 14 days worth of treatment, many of them twice daily. By contrast, Oritavancin has 3 to 7 days of daily treatment. And as I said, the most recent data shows from a new trial that we may potentially downstream with a validation of a phase 3 trial be able to dose this drug as a single infusion. And that would be a very exciting prospect for doctors and patients, having the advantage of a single infusion while retaining the side effect benefits and the ease of use benefits.